So that was your school system. Tell us a little bit more about your brother Mike. He went to the same school you did?
No, he didn't. He went to the brothers' school, the National Brothers. They had monks living like, between the two schools and a monastery. And the brothers taught in the monastery. They
So
taught the boys. The boys went to a boys' school and the girls went to a girls' school because they were not allowed to teach Gaelic in the girls' school, either in the boys' school.
So all the children that went to school with you was girls?
Well, what?
Girls?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
the boys, your two brothers went to a boys' school?
Yeah, they went to a monastery.
And the monastery was a Catholic school?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So at that school, they were allowed to teach Gaelic and religion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they were not overruled by England then.
How did it come about that England could control your school and not control their school, your brother's school?
Because the brothers was a religion of their own. The brothers was a different religion. And what is he? The brothers had a religion, they were Catholics. Of course, naturally they would be. It was a monastery. And there was no girls allowed to go to that school.
Right.
And it was all boys that went to the monastery school. And then they had to have a girls' school next to that.
Why didn't the English control that school that your brothers went to?
Because it was, by the way, controlled by religion. It's more religion than it would be anything else.
Tell us about you had another brother who was named Patty?
He was just by us. I mean, wherever we went, he went. And then when they got older, himself and his stepbrother ran around together.
So Patty was younger than you?
Yeah,
How much younger?
2 years.
2 years. Can you tell us anything about Patty?
Huh?
Can you tell us about Patty? Can you tell us anything
I
about
could
him?
not much, no.
No.
He was, he ran around with the kids. And then the boys, they all went to the boys' school. Naturally, they played with the boys.
So after your mother and after your father died, your mother got remarried,
Yeah,
and then they had some children also, which were your stepchildren?
yeah.
3 children. What's their names?
Tommy, Katie, and, Tommy, Annie, and Katie.
Can you tell us about Tommy?
Oh, I couldn't tell you much about them. They were my stepbrothers, or stepbrother. But they got along very well together, the stepbrothers.
And his name was Tommy Dermody.
Yeah,
And then you also had another stepbrother. His name was Annie. You had
Annie, yeah.
Another.
Yeah, she was out here.
Tell us
And
about
then-
Annie.
Katie. Well, she was very, very nice girl. Very good girl. She do what she was told. If I told her to do anything, she'd do it like her. She was very, very nice. Very nice girl.
And you and Annie were friends?
Oh, yeah. We came out here together and ran around together and always went together in different places, different parties and everything.
Tell us about when you were children, when you were in your house in Ireland. What did you do there?
The house. Well, when we become the age of 6 or 7, we had to do work. We had to take care of the farm, the chickens. We had to see that they were taken care of. We had to see the ducks were put away. And different things like that.
Tell us about what you and Annie did together.
Well, we did everything together.
You went to the same school together?
Yep.
She was in the same class as you?
No,
Tell
she
us
could.
about-
I was older.
Okay.
Yeah,
And she was in the other room. I understood there was
yeah,
2 rooms there.
2 rooms.
And she was in the other room and you were in one room.
Yeah. When they were going back and forth, they'd go into one room for one subject, and go to another room for another subject.
Tell us about your house that you lived in. How many bedrooms were in your house?
There was 1, 2, 3.
3 bedrooms?
Yeah,
And who lived in, there were 6 children now at this time?
Yeah.
Your stepchildren?
yeah. Well, the boys slept in one room, and the girls slept in another room,
Okay.
and that's all I know.
And the parents slept in the third bedroom?
Pardon?
Where did the parents sleep?
They slept in another bedroom.
And you had a kitchen in this house?
Yeah, yeah.
What did the kitchen look like?
It looked like a regular fireplace burning. Yeah, I saw those fireplaces. And a chain going across, coming down. And there was an open fireplace like this. And they'd set the fire, they'd have to light the fire and get it going.
So they cooked on this fire?
Yeah,
There was no stove.
no, not then.
Did you have running water?
Yeah. No, we didn't. We had well water.
Well water.
Yeah.
Did you go outside to get the well water?
Yeah, we had to go quite a ways to get it.
How about the toilets? What kind of toilets did you have?
Outdoor.
Outdoor.
Yeah,
And so you went outside and got the water.
yeah,
You had to go outside to go to the bathroom.
yeah.
And when you cooked, you made a fire. What did you make the fire with?
Turf.
Tell us what turf is.
Turf is in a bark, tough bark. They'd cut the turf. Then they'd save it and dry it. And then they'd put it from one position to another to get it real dry. And then they'd start a fire with it.
Did you have, that's pretty much about your house. Is that all you can tell us about the house that you lived in?
What could I tell you about it?
Okay. How about cousins? Did you have any cousins when you were young?
Cousins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did.
Who were they?
They were Lallies, of course. My mother's brother's kids. My mother's 2 brothers' kids. They were, like playing around with us. We used to stay back and forth. We'd stay with them and they'd stay with us for a night or 2.
So they lived near you?
Yeah,
And tell us what county you lived in.
Mayo.
County Mayo?
Yeah.
Was there any lakes or anything near there?
Lights.
Lakes.
Lights.
Water.
Lakes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all around the front.
Of a lake?
All along the front was a lake.
What was the name of the lake?
Loch Mask.
Loch Ness. And you lived on the lake and your cousins lived on the lake.
Yeah.
Did you do anything in the lake? Did you go swimming?
We did. We went swimming, and then one of them would have a boat, and they'd take us out on the boat. When they'd have a boat.
What kind of boat did they have? Was it a rowboat?
A sailboat, that's all I know.
Had a sail on it?
No,
No.
we didn't have a sail.
How did
The bigger places did.
Did people on the lake had sailboats?
Yeah,
And you had a rowboat?
we had a rowboat.
Did you row it?
No,
Who did?
no, my brother. Our neighbors are my brother,
And your cousins.
Yeah,
Is there anything else you can tell us about your early childhood?
no. There's nothing I can't. He's waiting too.
Okay, Mom, how did nobody had a job, nobody went out to work, your dad didn't have a job, you just lived on the farm.
No,
How did you get money for clothes and food?
my sister, remember me saying that Annie said talked to my mother after she came home from town, when she said, Mommy, long a day, sell a quill and buy a coating for me.
Tell us what that means.
She asked her, she said, Mom, it was a long day. She said, for you, selling the colour, that's the male of the chickens, for selling the colour and buying the makings of a coat for me.
So she took the chickens to town to sell the chickens to buy a coat.
Yeah,
And then she also sewed clothes for you. She made some clothes.
my mother she went from that to the curtain, the spinning, then Mary Kavanagh weaved it.
Oh, okay. And then where'd you get the money to buy food? Same thing?
Yeah, we sold something. Of course, we grew our own food mostly.
Okay. What did you grow?
We could grow potatoes, any kind of vegetable you'd want, cabbage, carrots, parsnips, corn, anything you could think of, they grew it. And then they had a small garden for to use around the house. So
What did you buy?
we bought sugar, tea,
Did you buy flour?
butter. No, we did. We had to buy flour. And sometimes if we ran out of butter, we bought butter. But that didn't happen very often.
Did they have to sell something to buy the food?
Well, it all depends on what they buy. If they grew it at home, they grew it. They didn't buy it. They didn't buy anything, only what they had to.
You had a pet lamb.
Huh?
You had a pet lamb.
Yeah. It got hurt when it was little, like its feet broke. Or they grew that way. They were crossed each other, the front feet.
And did you take care of it
Yeah,
until it grew up?
yeah.
And when they killed a lamb, did they kill a lamb for dinner? Not your lamb, but
Well, they took a chance that in the village, if they killed a lamb or a pig, they divide the neighbours that buy so much of it. You know, they don't buy so much. And then they'd have meat themselves.
you know, the IRA was in Ireland when you were there. Your brother was in the IRA.
Yep,
What did he do?
he was a dispatch carrier.
Which means, what does that mean?
It was carrying messages back and forth. Not dealing with anything at
He
all.
didn't have a
only-
gun.
Yeah, messages. He'd carry a message to this one, and then if that one would have a message, he'd send it back.
And how old was he at that time?
Maybe 15, 14 or 15.
Did your mom know that he was doing that?
Oh, yeah.
And at one time the IRA came to Tormacaty. Something
Yeah.
happened on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Tell me.
The IRA came to Tormacaty.
Yeah, wasn't there some kind of a skirmish in Tormacaty on a Sunday? You don't remember that. Uprising.
I don't know when. Did I ever talk about it?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. It was the Tormacaty Uprising when the English came in and they had a battle right in town, right,
Oh, in
right
town.
by Flynn's, by the post office.
Oh, I know how that happened. They knew they had a message that they were coming from English was coming to Tormacaty, and they got together and were going to ambush them. When there was a wall there at the fairgreen, and they put holes in the wall and put the guns out in the holes between them, and they'd get the lorries when they come back. So the lorries came and they opened fire on them. Then there was a skirmish, and half of them went out in the mountains and slept in the ditches and slept everywhere just to save their lives. And the poor things slept in water or slept in any kind of a ditch all night.
Did anybody get hurt?
Huh?
Did any of them get hurt that day?
They did. Some of them from town, the big shots got hurt.
They got hurt. Did they get shot?
Yeah.
Stadawak, Nowak.
What?
Stadawak, Nowak.
Oh. My mother was bringing a duck. My grandmother gave her a duck to bring home, to keep him, like, you know. And she was carrying the duck home. And the way the duck talked was walk, 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 walk. And my mother said, no walk nor walk, but I'll carry you all the way.
Can you say that in Gaelic? Isn't Stadawak, isn't that Gaelic?
Not a walk.
I think
No.
No?
It's English. Walk. It's not a walk. Sorrow is kind of a word, like, you know, a slang word.
So she carried the duck all the way home.
Yeah. Of course, it was only a little way. It wasn't too far.
When you were a teenager, the teenagers used to meet on the crossroads.
Used to be what?
Used to meet on the crossroads for dancing after
Yeah.
all their work was done.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, we used to go in the evening. We'd get kind of half dressed up, such as it was. And then they'd have somebody playing like a accordion or a tin whistle or something for music. And they danced at the crossroad. They danced a square dance. And that's where they used to spend the evening.
What kind of shoes? Did you have dancing shoes? Did you have hard shoes?
No, shoes like
Just,
they-
just soft shoes?
yeah.
And was it the boys that played the music?
Well, if anybody that could play music
And was it just the kids? Was it just
came
the teenagers?
and played, huh?
Was it just the teenagers?
Any age at all
Oh,
that'd play.
And when you were in school, sometimes you had to stay home from school to do the chores.
Yeah,
Do you remember?
yeah.
How did you feel about that?
Well, I didn't feel good because when I was in school, I kept up with my class. When I wasn't in school, I went back. You know, I didn't know everything. So, anyway, you'd have to make the grades in order to pass. But anyway, I made the grades. So I passed on to the next grade.
Your mom didn't like it when you had to stay home from school either.
No, but she didn't have a choice because my stepfather wouldn't work then when my mother, my stepfather wouldn't work when we went to school. He'd stay home.
So then you had to stay home from school and do the work.
Well, we had to stay home anyway for peace.
You had to stay home. He didn't want you to go to school.
No,
That's strange.
well, he wanted us to stay dumb.
When you were in school, one time a teacher hit your hand
Yeah,
with a stick,
well, it was with a ruler.
a ruler.
Yeah, she said, she asked me some question and I didn't know it. She said, put your hand out, and she cut my head and she slapped it on it like, you know, with a roller. Well, the big lump started coming up. So when I went home, I told my mother, I said, what's in your hand? I said, that's where the teacher hit me. She said, she didn't hit you there, and I said, yes, she did. Well, she said, I'm going right back to her and see why she did that. But she didn't know that the lump came up in my hand. The teacher didn't know. So she said she was sorry, and she didn't know that my hand would swell up like that. But my hands were soft, like, you know. Even today they're soft.
Yeah, even after working in the fields all the time.
Yeah.
And then when you were a teenager, you had a job of driving the schoolmaster.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Well, I was working for them then.
What kind of work did you do for them?
Well, the regular general work, you know, cooking and cleaning and washing and
How
all
old
that.
were you at this time?
Huh?
How old were you?
Maybe 14.
And your job was to drive the schoolmaster?
Yeah. To school.
Was it to the national school?
Yeah.
And so tell me about driving the teacher. That was your job. Tell me describe your job.
Well, just get my job would be to get up, get the get the pony harness and get the trap ready, and get the teacher ready to go in, and then I'd get the harness and everything in the trap, and then I put her on the trap and get the teacher to work.
And then did you have to, then you had to go back and pick her up.
Yeah.
Did you take care of the horse then, in between?
Huh?
Did you have to take care of the horse in between driving her and picking
Yeah,
her
I
up?
came home. I took care of the horse, I let her out, and then first time to pick the teacher up, I went out and got her and harnessed her, and got her down again to pick the teacher up.
Why did the teacher need to be driven to work? Couldn't she?
Because she was too far away, she couldn't walk.
But couldn't she drive herself to work?
Well, then what bring the horse? Where would the horse stay all day?
Oh,